Hey friends, it's Shereé, and in today's video, I'm doing a little sewing catch-up with you. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're a returning person, thank you so much for your continued support. All right, let's get into it. Here we are in the middle of October. It's October the 14th, and I cannot believe it's already October the 14th. Like, this month is flying by, and it makes me a little sad because I love spooky season. I love fall, and actually this is our first week of fall weather where I live, so I'm really excited. I'm still kind of wearing my summer things, but that's just because it's like 72 degrees, but it's definitely much better than the 90 degrees that we had over the last few weeks. So anyway, I can't believe it's the middle of October already. I definitely thought that I would have completed more projects by this point than I had, but I did follow through on one thing that I said that I would do for you guys, and that is I filmed a sewing tutorial on how to make fabric book covers. So if you missed it, it's on my YouTube channel right now. I will link it in this video, so it'll be a suggested video to come up next after you finish this video. I'll also link it in the information section, but I have two different sizes and I walk you through the steps on how to draft your pattern and how to make these really cute fabric book covers. I'm obsessed with these. I have so many, and to be perfectly honest, I'll probably make them for every season just because I think it's fun to change them out. But I have two different sizes, one for books that are around 200, 300 pages, and then one that is more for larger books. And so please take advantage of that tutorial. It is very rare when I have time to film a full-on tutorial. It takes a lot of work to film and edit and put those together, so I really hope that you enjoy it and that you check it out. I mentioned in my last video that I was going to be making some overalls, and I have gone as far as to wash the fabric and cut out the pattern. However, I have not cut the fabric or sewn the overalls, so I'm hoping to do that in the next video. Fingers crossed I'm able to get some sewing done this week. In this last week, I was only able to sew one item, and it was a t-shirt. I'll give you more details about that in a minute. But in this video, I want to share with you the one thing I sewed outside of book covers. I'll show you all the things I embroidered this week, as well as my IndieStitch unboxing. Let's actually start with the IndieStitch unboxing. I like to showcase that box before I get into the other things, just in case I get long-winded. It happens sometimes. This is the IndieStitch box for the month of October. It is a really good one. I was so excited when I saw the size of this box. Look how thick that is. So I knew there was going to be something extra special in here that I was not anticipating, and I was right. So if you're not familiar with IndieStitch, IndieStitch is a monthly sewing subscription service where you receive a project every single month, and it's always a garment project. You receive the pattern, all the supplies that you need to complete the project, as well as some additional sewing goodies. I have loved receiving my IndieStitch box. I've had it now for 2 years, and it is just so much fun and exciting to receive every month. This month's box is so appropriate for fall. I love it. Okay, so this is what the card looks like here. And every month on the top of the box, you'll have a little flyer like this that will tell you everything that's in the box. It also gives you instructions on how to access a PDF version of the pattern and instructions. And it gives you a QR code that takes you directly to a sew along. So you can sew along if you are new to sewing and need a little hand holding. This is definitely a box that is good for that. Now on the back of this card, it gives you the fabric options. So for this month, we had several different options to choose from with regards to our fabric. I love that we can choose the fabric that we want for our projects. It also tells you all the other things in the box. I'm gonna start with the most exciting thing in the box, and that is the fabric, okay? For this box, we got sweater knits, and there were lots of different things to choose from, but I actually chose something that looked different and unique to all the fabrics that I have in my stash. And you know I have quite a collection. I do love to do a lot of fabric shopping, and this is a waffle striped fabric. It is 88% polyester and 9.5% rayon, 2.5% spandex. And what I loved about it is just all the fall colors. Look at all these awesome colors. I'm so excited. Now, the pattern for this box is a wrap, and this is the Swan Wrap Sweater, and this is what it looks like. I'll try to insert a picture if this doesn't come through clear enough, but it kind of reminds me of the Tilly and the Buttons Pearl cardigan, and because of that, I may not jump right into sewing up this pattern right away. Although I will say that there is a tie feature on the Tilly and the Buttons pattern that I feel like is more complicated than it needs to be. And I'll read the instructions of this one, and if it is less complicated, because I've made 3 of those cardigans before, and I like the pattern, it's just always like kind of a pain when it gets to that point. If this is something that's easier to construct than the pearl cardigan, then I might go ahead and sew this up. But I envision making a longer cardigan with this fabric. And this is actually, let's see, how long is it? Oh, it doesn't say how long the fabric is. Usually it tells you on the package how many yards you have of the fabric, but it's a good amount of fabric. This is not a heavyweight type of waffle knit, so you can actually probably see my hand behind, maybe not. Let's see. But it's perfect for this transitional weather. And I think it would be a cute little layering piece, so I can definitely see myself making a longer cardigan out of it. But it's got some beautiful fall colors, and you can see the waffle knit on it. So pretty. I could actually even make a dress out of this, but I'm really leaning more towards a cardigan that can go over lots of different outfits. But this is gorgeous fabric, and I'm so excited to have received this one. I definitely think that I chose the right fabric for me. All right, let's go into the next item in the box. We have a gorgeous hedgehog pin cushion. It's so cute and squishy, and a box of butterfly topped pins. I love this. This is so adorable. I'm going to probably have to share this with my son now that he sews, and I think that he's gonna think it's so much fun to poke this hedgehog and to pull the pins out of it. So I really love that this was included. It's such a fun little thing, and actually the quality of this hedgehog is really, really good. Like, the details on it are so cute. Adorable. I probably wouldn't have bought something like this on my own, so to have received it in the box, I'm actually really thrilled because it's extremely cute. The next thing in the box is actually the thread, and it is a brown shade, which is perfect for the brown that's in this fabric. And also there is a little envelope in here that has 2 ballpoint flat shank needles and a couple of minders for the spools of thread. So there's 2, I think they're called bobbin minders, and you put your thread on one side and the bobbin on the other. So anyway, there's 2 of those. And then next we have, oh my gosh, we have a sewing machine dust cover. One of my sewing machines, my Singer Heavy Duty, does not have a cover, and look how big this is. I wonder if this would even fit my embroidery machine. I think it might. Oh, I love this. This is so good. And oh my gosh, yes, it has these gorgeous deep pockets on the side. So well made. Oh my gosh, this is so nice. Wow, I did not expect to receive something like this in the box. I think it will actually fit my embroidery machine. That makes me so excited because I have a Brother embroidery machine, and it came with a very thin, like, plastic type of cover, but this is much nicer and will do a better job of keeping lint out of my machine since I store it on a shelf. This is so nice. Oh my gosh, really, really nice. And then lastly, we have the pattern. And the pattern is one that I love. It is printed with all the different sizes and different colors, so it's easy to trace off or cut out. And you do have to print off the PDF version of the instructions and print those out, or you can just read them from your device in order to complete the project. So that's everything that came in the box. This was a really good box, so definitely excited to sew this up. Definitely excited to put these things to use. But yeah, if you're interested in receiving your own IndieStitch box, please use the link in the information section below. It'll take you directly to IndieStitch, and you can go ahead and sign up for your own subscription It's an affiliate link, so if you use it, I will get a small commission, but all money goes back into my channel, and you'd be supporting me and helping me out a lot if you do use my link, but no pressure if you don't want to. All right, let's move on to the next thing in this video. The one thing that I sewed up this week, besides book covers, was a t-shirt, and it was actually a flop, but I'm gonna show it to you anyway. I have sewn this pattern before, so I definitely didn't anticipate having this issue. This t-shirt has been cut and ready to go for a very long time, and I finally got around to sewing it up, and then it ended up being a flop. The issue was not with the pattern, the issue was with the fabric. So here's the pattern. This is the Vicky Sews t-shirt Alia, and this is what it looks like. I love this t-shirt. I'm kind of at the point where I can't seem to find the perfect boxy cut t-shirt for my liking. Now, I made one by Lydia and Naomi that I wear all the time, but even that one isn't the exact look I was going for, so I may have to resort to just buying my t-shirts ready to wear because I can't seem to get that ready to wear look that I'm after. So my only issue with buying them ready to wear is that the two that I own that I really love were $40, and $40 for a t-shirt, even if it's really good quality cotton, it's hard for me to do. So I've been trying to make my own or master my own t-shirt. And well, let's just say my black version that I made of this and I wear all the time, it is out of a rib knit. I love that version. It's so nice to wear. But when I made it out of this fabric, which is a cotton, 100% cotton that I got from Fabric Wholesale Direct. Now I have purchased this cotton in other colors, and for some reason those other colors sewed up so much better than this t-shirt here. It has such minimal stretch, and I don't even know how to explain this. Like, everything was going well until I added the neckband. The neckband piece, I will say, on this pattern is pretty wide, and I want to say that I actually had to reduce the length of the neckband for this pattern when I made my black version that I like. But this time around, I totally forgot about that, and I just sewed up the neckband the same size as it was. And doing that, I had to stretch the t-shirt to fit the neckband, and it just looks like a hot mess, to be honest with you. When I put it on, everything about it is fine until the neckband, and so the neckband is really wide and wobbly. It just doesn't look good. Now, if I had sewn this out of a more stretchy fabric, it would have been fine, but since this has very little stretch, it's just a big old gaping neck hole. And so I tried to fix it by adding a couple of little pleats in the back, and that just made it look worse. So this t-shirt that I envisioned wearing out and about will now just be a sleep shirt. I'm really disappointed about that. This fabric definitely disappointed me. And because I've made this shirt before, I know it's not the pattern. And because of how this fabric behaved, I will probably not purchase this again. It makes me so sad because, like I said before, I've purchased this fabric in other colors before and they were fine. But when there's an inconsistency in the quality of something, I generally don't want to take the gamble anymore. So I probably won't buy this cotton t-shirt fabric from Fabric Wholesale Direct again in the future. But I mean, it'll get worn, and I actually can wear this under cardigans and things of that nature. But anything that's going to show the back of the neckband, it's not going to work out. So that was kind of a bummer, and especially since that was the only thing that I actually sewed this month. So let me move on to sharing with you the things that I embroidered. So I shared with you in the last video some projects that I had embroidered, and I shared them with some friends, showed some pictures or whatever. And one of my girlfriends asked me to make her a sweatshirt with the same embroidery that I did on my version. So I purchased this really nice sweatshirt on Amazon because I didn't have time to sew up a sweatshirt for her. And then I sewed on this little image that has little ghosts reading books, and then it says books. Anyway, I love this so much. My only issue with this is that the sweatshirt is so thick that my embroidery machine really struggled with embroidering on this fabric. And so because of that, it actually kept getting hung up underneath the casing on the top, you know, where the bobbin is. And it was just such a mess, and I had to take that piece off of my embroidery machine several times. It was very frustrating. So what I ended up doing is cutting out a piece of denim and then I embroidered the denim and then sewed it onto the sweatshirt. It's not exactly what she wanted, but I think it looks nice, and hopefully she will like it as well. But this sweatshirt was one of those Amazon Prime deal day situations. Normally a $30 sweatshirt, and I got it for like 20 bucks. So that was pretty good. The next thing that I did was also another embroidery challenge. I don't want to say fail because I did rebound, okay? I did a t-shirt, and so originally I did this image on this black t-shirt, and the writing, which says the reader, was actually done in like this same color as this rose here at the bottom, and it looked so great. The embroidery project was almost finished, and then when it came to the skull, it got hung up and totally made an enormous hole in the t-shirt. So I had to do what I did for my friend and embroider the image on denim. And I was so aggravated by the fact that I had to go back and do that I totally forgot that originally I had done the words "the reader" in orange, like a burnt orange. So unfortunately, you could barely read that it says "the reader" on there. And it's denim and it's on the center of my chest. It's just not at all what the plan was, but it's still cute and I can still wear it. I mean, it'll be cute. No one's gonna be too worried about it. It's just more of a thing that I'm gonna notice, and this was for me, so I'm trying not to let it bother me too much. The next thing that I embroidered was actually perfect. I love it so much, and I'm gonna give you a couple seconds to guess what this is from, but it says, "I smell children." Okay, you have a couple seconds to try to remember where that phrase is from, but this is going to be a part of my spooky Halloween costume. I don't really have a costume. I'm gonna wear a fun shirt and then I'm going to wear some accessories that kind of tie into it for my Halloween outfit, especially since I have to work on Halloween. So anyway, if you hadn't guessed it, it is from Hocus Pocus, and those are the three Sanderson sisters, their hair, a broom, and some bats all around it. This embroidery file was so good. I thoroughly enjoyed making this t-shirt, and I actually think I might want to put it on denim to make another book cover with this picture on it, or maybe even a tote bag or something, just because I love the image so much. But especially since I'm a teacher, right? I smell little children. That is so cute. I love it, and I'm so thrilled with how this came out. And now both of these blanks, I believe, came from Michaels, and they're really soft cotton. They're not that rougher, more stiff cotton that you normally get from Gildan. And this brand is actually called Canvas by Bella Canvas, and they're just very soft, and they've already been washed, and they held their color really nicely after being washed. So I'm pleased with those blanks. They do cost more than the Gildan t-shirts, but I think they're worth it for the quality. Now, the last thing I embroidered, I had so many issues with, and this time it wasn't because of my embroidery machine. It was actually an issue with the embroidery files. Now, here's the challenge. I love supporting designers and buying embroidery designs on Etsy. It's so much fun to shop them, and I love that somebody actually took the time to create this with their own art. So I really love buying them. But occasionally you get some bad embroidery files, and especially when you have a smaller embroidery machine. So I have a 4x6 hoop, and once the image is shrunk that small, there always tends to be little issues with it when embroiders, and it's so frustrating. Like those that I showed you already, like for instance, this one right here, it did not come in a size small enough for my embroidery machine, so I had to contact the seller and ask them if they would make me a smaller size, and they were gracious enough to do so. There was another company that the same thing happened. I bought it, and it was advertised as being the appropriate size, and then when I actually tried to upload it into my machine said that the file was too large, and so I had to contact the seller to see if they can make me a smaller one. We'll see if they do. But for the one on this project, which I was the most excited about and I'm really bummed about, the files were the right size. The problem is that they didn't line up. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. I made this sweatshirt and it has all these ghosts on it. It is a hoodie. And the issue is that if you look closely, the black outline on the ghost is not on the edge of the ghost. It's like cutting into the ghost head. And then in one spot, it's actually missing part of the ghost altogether. So this should be white where it's black right here, this little triangle. So I was so disappointed because I absolutely love the little ghosts holding the books and the size of them and everything. I just love it so much. So I was really bummed, but I did contact the seller and they are going to refund my money and remove the file so that it can't be purchased or until they fix it. But for me, it sucks because you know how I am with my embroidery. I'm a much like how I am with my sewing. I rarely do a test garment or a test run, especially when it's an image that uses so much thread. Like this uses so much thread. So rarely do I do test versions, but this definitely showed me that it's almost worth it to buy extra thread just for the testing purposes, because I messed up my sweatshirt. And the reason why I asked for a refund instead of ask for a fixed file is because now I don't want to do another sweatshirt, because now I have a black hoodie sweatshirt with ghosts on it. So for this one ghost, I think the other ones are really not that big of a deal. I'll get over it. But for this one that's missing a little piece of the ghost head, I'm just going to sit there and hand embroider the missing part of that and just try not to pay attention to the fact that the black lining isn't perfect on the ghost. And I don't think anybody else will notice. They might think it's part of the design. But for me, it kind of bothered me. I was kind of disappointed about that. But yeah, so those are all the things that I made in this last week. And while it wasn't a ton of sewing, I feel like I got a good amount of stuff done. But I really do encourage you to please check out this sewing tutorial. It is rare when I actually have time to make tutorials for you guys, and occasionally you ask for them. So please do me a solid and support me by watching that video, because then it will encourage me to make more sew-alongs in the future for other things that you ask for. So again, this is what they look like, and I'll open it up so that you can see. There is an exterior piece of elastic that helps to close it up together, but when you open it up, on one side you have a slip pocket to hold it in place, and then on the back side there is a strip of elastic to hold your page. And for myself, when I'm reading with them, I like to tuck that flap that goes on the outside onto the inside of the book, just like that, and it holds in place while I read. So it's a really nice book cover. It is lined with batting. So it definitely has some sturdy cushion for the outside to protect it. It's a fun project to put together. I definitely think that it would be a nice gift to make somebody. Holiday season is coming up, and I think that this would be a fun gift to make for someone and maybe purchase them a book to go along with it. So anyway, support your girl and watch that video. And hopefully in the next video, I will have some completed outfits. I want to be able to model the things that I've been making and put together some fun fall outfits with my upcoming makes, which should be sewn up this week. And also be able to share with you some new jewelry items that I picked up. If you enjoyed this video, please do give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my channel. Talk to you soon. Bye.